Today, I'm pleased to launch our publication called Let's Get Australia Back on Track, the priorities of a Dutton Coalition government. And after outlining our priorities, new policies will emerge in the days and weeks ahead in the run-up to the election. It will complement what we've announced already, which is very significant. At the last election, despite the pandemic, the Coalition handed a very strong economic position to Labor. On almost every economic measure, Australia was either leading the world or performed better than most countries. Our debt was lower than any other major advanced economy. But in less than 3 years, as Angus Taylor regularly talks about, Labor has been a wrecking ball through the economy. The government has pulled every wrong lever since coming to power. And as Jane Hume points out regularly, spending has lifted by a staggering $347 billion. Personal income taxes paid by Australians under the Albanese government have gone up by 22%. The enterprise and productivity of business and industry has been suffocated by government intervention and regulation. And the cost of electricity has skyrocketed under a reckless renewables-only policy. Consequently, we are in a right mess. There's no end in sight to Labor's cost of living crisis. Under Labor, interest rates have gone up 12 times, and they should already have come down by now. Repeatedly, the RBA governor has said that inflation is now homegrown. That is, that with the government's rapid spending, it has caused inflation to rise and stay higher for longer. Households have now been in recession for 7 consecutive quarters, and Australians are living through the worst collapse in living standards on record. Everything is costing more: food, rents, mortgages, power and insurance. And more than 26,000 businesses have gone insolvent under Mr Albanese's watch. Australia's core inflation remains one of the highest in the G20 nations, and our country is facing more Labor deficits. To clean up this mess, here's some key priorities of a Dutton Coalition government. We will fight cost of living pressures. We will build a stronger economy, and we will cut government waste. Let me be clear. This government is living beyond its means. It's spending what it can't afford, and it's hurting Australians in the process. I know things like energy bill rebates and student debt subsidies help, but while providing temporary relief, such expenditure doesn't address the underlying problems. It just masks them. And when government overspends, interest rates and inflation stay higher for longer. Inflation makes every dollar that you earn buy less. Inflation reduces the purchasing power of your paycheck. And we can only escape the clutches of the cost of living crisis by reining in inflationary spending. And the expensive Panadol policies must stop. The necessary economic surgery to stop wasteful spending must start. And that's what a coalition government will do. Of course, there are key areas where we need to spend taxpayer money, as we did when we were in government, in record numbers, in defence, in health, the NDIS and aged care, to name but a few. But taxpayers must be reassured, particularly when they're fighting harder for every dollar themselves, that their money, their taxes are being spent prudently. Wherever possible, a dollar spent should create new dollars. The aim should always be to spend taxpayer money where it has an economic multiplying effect, where it generates productivity and where it can attract new investment. Infrastructure, resources and agricultural products are good examples of it, as is AUKUS, with its potential to foster a new arm of the economy. I'm in the game of ending government waste,